am back with this crazy apron. Alright guys, on my Instagram page at AllasYummyFood, where you should, by the way, follow me, I usually ask you questions about my channel, about things, so you can vote yes or no, and majority of you voted for me to wear this apron. So today I want to show you something really delicious. It's a waffle cake stuffed with chocolate and nuts, and like, oh my god, it's so good. Kind of like dulce de leche filling. Definitely I'm feeling it. So yeah, it's really yummy. So it's sort of the cream soaks up through the night, through the hours, and it becomes nice and crunchy, kind of yummy, creamy in the middle, and the nuts add so much flavor as well as the chocolate in between. So we've got some little cheekiness going on there, and oh my god, love this cake. Everybody was, you know, like, wow, they loved it. It's like sort of like hazelnut, Nutella. It's really yummy, really delicious, something that you're gonna wow your guests with. And in terms of getting the wafers, you should try your local stores like Russian or Polish or sort of Baltic sort of stores where you'll be able to find these wafers. But of course, if you have found them somewhere online, please leave the link for everybody else so they can find them. I will search myself as well. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoy this recipe and my video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. It makes me really happy. I want to reach 100,000 subscribers, woo! And you know, I just really appreciate all of you, and it means the world to me when you subscribe, comment and like my videos and share. I put a lot of work into them, and hopefully we can reach 100,000 very soon. Now let's get baking. In a stand mixer, add unsalted butter, which is at room temperature, so it needs to be softened, and whisk it for a few minutes until it becomes nice and pale. Then you want to add your dulce de leche or boiled condensed milk. You can also use store-bought caramel, so completely up to you, but if you want the caramel flavor, these are the options that I suggest. You want to whisk everything together at high speed, and as you can see, I'm adding my cream a little bit at a time. Then you want to go around and scrape the edges, make sure the butter and dulce de leche has incorporated. So kind of scoop around and make sure it's nice and whisked. You want to whisk it for a few more minutes just to make sure the cream has been whipped up and looks absolutely delicious. So when it's done, it's gonna look just like that, and you want to place this aside for a moment.
As some of you know, I have launched my online cooking school where you can learn how to make the most amazing cakes ever. I've got level 1, 2 and 3 for beginners to advanced, and you'll be able to learn the beautiful mousse cakes. You can also do this as a gift for somebody who loves cooking and baking. I think it's an awesome present. And of course, if you wanted to learn yourself. Each course has over 20 to 40 video lessons in there where I teach you all the skills, different cakes and unique designs. We also have a Facebook community group for all the bakers that join my course, and you will have my unlimited support throughout teaching and learning. I really hope to see you in my online cooking school, and if you have any more questions, then leave the comments down below.
Here I've got my cream, and I'm also using my wafers. I've got smaller wafers this time, so depending on how many you get, you need to adjust the cream measurements. Now I'm gonna blitz my walnuts in a food processor. You can also chop this with a knife. I'm gonna be adding these into my cake so it has a nice crunch to it. So just blitz it until you have nice small pieces. You don't want to blitz it for too long so the oils don't come out, and we still want that crunchy feeling. We're also going to prepare our chocolate. So into a bowl, add your dark chocolate together with double cream and place it in a microwave for 30 seconds twice. So you want to take it out after 30 seconds, mix it through, and then put it back for 30 seconds. And then mix it until you get nice, beautiful chocolate ganache mixture.
We're gonna set this aside to melt because we're gonna be adding this chocolate ganache in between our layers, but it is important that it kind of cools down. Look at that beautiful chocolate. So mix it through until the chocolate has completely melted. And don't be tempted to lick the spoon like I did. So we're gonna start layering our cake, and I like to add a little bit of cream at the bottom, but this is optional, just to make sure the cake sticks. However, it's much easier to decorate the cake while you hold it in your hand sometimes. So go around with your spatula around the edges, make sure you've got enough cream everywhere. Then I'm adding my crushed walnuts on top and adding more cream on top, just to kind of hide the crushed nuts. The reason we need to add extra cream so that the next layer sticks to our other layer. Otherwise, it's not going to stick to your nuts. In this respect, the waffle layers are a bit, needy. So it's very important that you add a lot of cream. I like it very, very sort of moist. However, if you prefer more of a dry crunch to it, then you can add a bit less. But usually it's about 1 to 2 tablespoons of our dulce de leche cream in each layer. And you're going to repeat the process with more cream and nuts in between each layer, and just covering it with more cream. So nuts are completely optional. You don't have to add them at all. You can just add, chocolate and dulce de leche, and then chocolate dulce de leche. But trust me, it makes so much difference with nuts. Now we're going to add our chocolate. So just drip it all over your waffle. And using the spoon that you've dripped it with, you want to go around the edges and make sure the chocolate goes into all the different holes of your waffle. So spread it around and then add another layer on top. So we're going to repeat the process with the rest of our waffles. I think I had 7 or 8. I will make sure you have all the ingredients listed and how much of what I've used on my website, and also below this video in the comment section. So make sure you always check out my website. I've got all the measurements and everything there. So we're going to repeat the process with our cake, layering it with chocolate and dulce de leche and nuts as we go. You can actually add more chocolate if you wanted to. I've only done, I think, 3 layers of chocolate, and the rest were with dulce de leche, and it wasn't overpowering. But if you're more of a chocolate fan, then I do suggest you add more chocolate. So it's really easy. It's no bake cake, it doesn't require any crazy skills. This cake can be done in 30 minutes or less. And the longest process of making this cake is to just wait until all the cream and chocolate soaks through each layer. So you want to add your final layer on top. With your dulce de leche, smooth out all the edges, all the imperfections around the cake. And then when you add your last layer of your wafer, we're going to cover everything in chocolate. So add the rest of your chocolate on top and just smooth it out with your spatula. You can go around and smooth it out. I've left more chocolate for the top, so it's nice and even. And of course, we're going to be decorating the cake, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but try and go around the edges as much as you can to make it nice and even. So I'm also decorating with the rest of my crushed walnuts around the edges, and you can also add more nuts around the cake too, just to give it a more of a sort of, cooler look, let's say. Because of the wafers, you don't want them to be poking out unless you cover the whole cake in chocolate, which is also optional. Pretty much you can cover it in anything you want. Now we're gonna whisk the cream. So I'm just got double cream here with a little bit of icing sugar, and I'm gonna whisk this until I get nice soft peaks. And this really is just for decoration on top of the cake. So I've placed this into a piping bag together with a star nozzle, just to make beautiful little puffs. So go around the cake and decorate it as you wish. I love the fact that I'm adding cream. It makes it look much fancier than a standard wafer cake, and people will think that you've put a lot of effort into making this when actually it took you just 30 minutes. Feel free to decorate it with some shaved chocolate or more nuts. It's completely up to you. I also like to add some fresh fruit on top, some raspberries to give it a bit of a color. And yeah, guys, there it is. Beautiful waffle cake. You want to leave it to soak through for a couple of hours at least. And when it's done, you want to use a bread knife to slice into each layer. And voila, the cake is done. Look at all these layers. It looks so creamy. It's so chocolatey. It's absolutely delicious, guys. I cannot express how amazing this is. If you're a fan of caramel and chocolate and wafers, this combination is so good. So I'm just gonna try this delicious cake and show you all the layers, and I really hope you make this twist with a waffle cake. And you can see that the layers, they were white but now they're golden because of the caramel, so kind of makes it even prettier. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.